don't know if people know the elastical, the snake. Please don't do it if you don't know what you're doing because you don't break your ankle. Hey guys, welcome to Visión Football. My name is Simrri.
My name's Hamex. Yep.
We're gonna speak about players that could have been the greatest of all time.
I'd like to share with you one of the players who I picked. This is Ansu Fati. You ever heard of him, bro?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
You heard him? Do you know like what position he plays?
Didn't he play like forward or middle?
Yeah. He plays forward for Barcelona. Ansu Fati debuted. He had like so much going for him. He was very young. He debuted when he was 16. He broke a lot of records when he was debuting, but something that happened to him, which is what happens to a lot of players, that like they go at a good rhythm, and then out of nowhere something happens to them. An injury happened to him when he was versing this team called Real Betis. So Real Betis, which ironically is when he did his first debut. So he debuted with Barcelona on the senior team against Real Betis, and then it just so happened that on that same, not the same game, but like with that same team, he got injured, and a defender came and basically tore his left meniscus. So we obviously know that injuries affect players so much, and it affected him very badly. And what's sad about Ansu Fati was that he did so much for the Spain team. Not saying that he was like the best player or the best player or he was gonna be the best player, but he had so much potential in him, you know? I don't know if you know, but he also inherited Messi's number 10 jersey, which I think didn't help his case at all. You know, it just added to more pressure. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think, like, from when he started wearing the number 10 jersey, do you think they should have given it to him? Do you think it was a lot of pressure for him? What do you think? Because obviously the number 10 carries a lot of weight because it was Messi's number. Yeah, and it was because Messi left to PSG that he got his number. So what do you think about that?
Carrying the number 10, it does have a immense pressure on you because you need to live up to the plate.
Yeah.
Not just anyone wears the number 10. Mm-hmm. The number 10 is about leadership. The number 10 is about being a goal scorer. And so maybe, I guess because he was young, maybe he was led by too much pressure, especially comparing him to Messi. Messi is Messi.
There was rumors in Barcelona in like news articles, and it said that they made him get a surgery. He was out. He was gonna be out for 4 months. It turned out he was out for 10. And I feel like him not playing at all or being consistent is what affected a player's mentality. Not only player's mentality, but a confidence. And then on top of that, he picks up another injury and basically like forcing his way to like get back on the field. I feel like when players usually force themselves to get back on the field when it's not time yet, they end up hurting themselves even more, which is what caused him to actually leave Barcelona, even though he wanted to stay, but he wasn't getting enough play time. Xavi, who later became the coach after Ronald Koeman, basically told him, he's like, I can't give you that much time. I can give you minutes. So he was like, I need to play. Like, what can I do? Like, what do you tell a player when he's injured and he's not performing at his best? If you were in Xavi's shoes, like, what would you do? Or how would you help a player? Like, what would you tell them?
I mean, I've seen players that have been injured, but they have overcome. Mm-hmm. They have made a comeback.
Yeah.
So as a coach, I guess if you see the talent and the capability and the quality in the player, why not invest in him, right? Yeah. But I get it as well because the coaches, they also have a standard that they have to keep up. And also, you know, injuries, when someone gets injured, you know, unfortunately, one is prone to get injured again. So
what eventually happened was that he forced his move and he ended up going to Brighton. And this year, actually, in September, he forced his move and now he's in the Premier League. He didn't want to leave, but a player needs minutes, right? Like to find that rhythm again. So he ended up going to Brighton. He was really, really doing well for Barcelona. Every time he came back from an injury, he scored, and everyone had hopes, but he just never fulfilled those shoes. And I think the injury plus the jersey, it just messed him up completely.
So he's like still playing for that
He's
team?
Still playing. He just moved to Brighton right now in September, so he plays for the Premier League now. But he's on loan. Like, they didn't sell him completely. He's just on loan. So we'll see. Like, if he recovers his form. Again, you've been through injury, so you know what it's like, you know, going back.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's tough. The one that I chose, probably you already know. I chose Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima.
Boy.
This man, also known, nickname that they gave him, and with the nickname you already know, the Phenomenon. He was given this nickname when he was playing in the Italian league, in the Serie A, and he was with Inter Milan. And so this guy's exceptional skills, his impact on the field, is what players, journalists, when they used to see him at his prime, at his young age, they say, this guy is not from this world. When you used to see this man dribble, when you used to see him do the tricks that he used to do, the step overs, the elastical. I know many other people did it before him, but when he used to do it, you were like amazed. And another thing was his pace and his strength in the field was incredible. I don't know if you remember about Bell, when his speed and his...
Yeah, oh yeah, Bell. He's a bullet.
He was literally like another Pelé, with his pace and his strength. And with his trickery, with his dribblings, like with the elastical, the snake. I don't know if people know the elastical, the snake. Please don't do it if you don't know what you're doing, because you don't break your ankle. This guy, when he used to do the change of directions and all of that stuff, he was like Ronaldinho mixed with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Damn.
So that you can get a picture of his dribbling skills. This guy was amazing. Not only did he have his pace and strength, not only did he had a skills in dribbling, but also he had the burst of speed. For example, Messi. Messi is known to have, when he grabs the ball, he knows what to do with the ball. And he knows how to dribble the ball in tight spaces. This guy was like Messi. So you could say he was a mix of Pelé, a mix of Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and a mix of Messi.
Damn.
So that's what made this man, Ronaldo, a phenomenal. He was a nightmare for the defenders. And he played for the Crusaders, right? He started in the Crusaders. He played for PSV. He played for Barcelona. He played for Real Madrid. He played for Inter Milan. He played for AC Milan. And this guy was just killing it. He was considered the best striker in the modern era because he won three Player of the Year awards. And I remember also that they made this ad in Nike when he won one of those Player of the Year awards, and I remember this commercial.
You saw it like on TV or like you just saw it on YouTube?
Wise, I saw it on YouTube because around that time, I think it was on the 90s, like the beginning of the 90s.
No, you're still like a kid.
I was still like a baby. But like in the 95, 98, that's where I started watching him, and I used to hate it when he used to go against Mexico. Like, not this guy, man. Please, not this guy.
Yeah,
don't give him the ball.
Yeah.
And so in this ad, it was this commercial of Nike that they made. And it starts with saying a question. It says, what if you told God that you wanted to become the greatest or the best soccer player of the world?
Really?
And then it stops. And then it switches to, and then it switches and it says, and what if God was listening?
Oh.
And then it jumps to this video where he's playing with Barcelona, and he's dribbling past 2-3 defenders in the midfield, and he scores the goal. And this was probably the most memorable or the greatest goal that he did with Barcelona. And it was crazy because even Messi, he said that he considers him one of the top strikers of the world. Henry, he considers him the top striker of the world. Zidane, he considers him the best striker of the world. And even Zlatan with his ego, where he thinks that he is the top of the world, where he thinks he is the best, he had to admit that nobody came close or can come close to Ronaldo phenomenon. He said about him, he said, I think he's the top striker of the world. He's the greatest striker of the world. And he said he didn't only play football. Well, let me say it like he said.
He didn't only play football. he was football.
And so that was what else to say about this man? He won 2 World Cups in the year 2000. He was playing for Inter Milan, and one of the things was that he suffered a lot from injuries of his knees. But in the year 2000, he was playing with Inter Milan, and he was playing against Lazio, right? It's funny because he was coming back already from another rupture of his tendons, from his ligament. He was already coming back from that recovery, right? He recovered and he came back.
He got injured again.
And then he came back and he only played for like 6 minutes against Inter Milan. I think it was at that 58th minute that he came in as a substitute. And so a lot of people were cheering on, like, yeah, Ronaldo's back, Ronaldo's gonna kill it, because he was a goal scoring machine, right? Nobody could have stopped him. And so he only played 6 minutes, and if you see it in the video, he was gonna make a step over against the goalie or against the defender, and he completely ruptured his tendons from his knee. Like literally his kneecap came out of place on his right knee. And so that was the most horrible injury that he had in his career. But the interesting thing was that he made a comeback from 2000 and 2002, where he won the World Cup and he was the top scorer. And so
he made a comeback, like after he injured himself again in 2002.
So he had 2 injuries. He had 2 injuries during that time in Inter Milan when he was playing in 2000, in the year 2000. But in the second injury was the worst one.
Oh damn.
But he was recovering, right, and he made a comeback in 2002 playing the World Cup.
Damn.
He was the top scorer.
Damn.
He did 8 goals in the whole tournament, and he was a key player for Brazil to win the World Cup in 2002.
Jeez.
And I remember him whenever when they were celebrating, he came up to his staff members and he was hugging them. And by the way, in 2002, bro, that team was stacked, bro.
Oh, yeah, no.
They had Ronaldinho, they had Ronaldo,
Kaká.
they had Rivaldo, they had Cafu, they had all-star players. But he was one of the key players. And so I remember when they were celebrating, he was substitute because they were already winning. I think it was against Germany. They were already winning, and I remember he was hugging everybody. And at the end, he hugged somebody that his name was Rodrigo. That he said that he was with him through all his process of recovery from his knee. And I remember that he hugged him, and Rodrigo, he says it, that he whispered to his ear, and he said, "God has been good to me, hasn't he?" People playing soccer or whatever sport, right? Sometimes they forget that they're humans. And like Zlatan. And one of the things is that it's an error for us to think that we are God, that there is no weakness in us. Because the body can be strong, but it could also be fragile. It could also be fragile at the same time.
It could snap like that.
And that's why the word of God says in Isaiah 43:7, it says, "Everyone who is called by my name, who I created for my glory, whom I formed and made." And in here, it reminds us that God's purpose for creating us as humans is for us to give him glory and honor. Because sometimes we make the mistake, or even people that probably are watching us, they tend to idolize these people. They tend to say, "Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo is a god. Oh, Messi is a god." But how about when they get injured? They're not really gods. They're just created beings.
It's a reminder that they're human.
That they're humans. And so this verse, I wanted to share it because it reminds us that first and foremost, we humans are created by God. And for what purpose? For us to give him glory and honor. In whatever we do, whatever talent that the Lord has given us, we need to give honor and glory to the Lord in whatever area that the Lord places us. And so that was interesting, and that was interesting for me to hear, because God was good to him.
Yeah.
He was able to make that comeback.
Yeah, we're talking about ultimate comeback to winning the World Cup.
And after that, he played in La Liga. He played in Real Madrid. And he won two Ballon d'Ors for being one of the best players. And he scored almost 400 goals in all his season. He could have done more, but because of his injuries, I think when he was playing in AC Milan, he injured his left knee as well. So it was both his knees. And not only did he suffer from chronic knee injuries, but he also suffered from something that is called hypothyroidism,
What is that?
which is when your body doesn't produce or develop things that your body needs. But in this hypothyroidism, right? Is he was suffering it, and that's why I don't know if you see him like in his late career, he was pretty chunky.
Yeah.
And so one of the symptoms that this does is that it gives you fatigue, and it gives you the difficulty of weight gain. And so imagine
weight gain or weight loss?
No, he was gaining weight.
Oh, like it makes you gain weight like faster.
Because you have fatigue.
Yeah.
And remember,
okay.
for you to, and he even said it. He said it's not hard for you to reach the top. It's hard for you to remain on the top.
Oh yeah, being consistent.
And so that was one of the things. And man, can you imagine if this guy didn't have those injuries and didn't suffer from that hypothyroidism? He could have done better, I believe. He could have broken records, and he could have done better than Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi.
Damn, that's a bold statement. But
that is a bold statement. But I believe he could have.
So many factors come into play when we're talking about these players and why they couldn't reach their potential, or what happened to them to not reach their potential. But other players who are still young, who still have the opportunity, we'll see how they play out later on during the season, and they see if they take advantage of the second opportunity to prove that they could find their form again.
So friends, what do you guys think? Who do you think that could have been the greatest of all time, right?
So Neymar.
People probably would have said we have Neymar, we have Ronaldinho as well, we have other players that could have been the best, but it was either lack of discipline, right?
The pressure.
The injuries, which is the top, but also they don't have that self-control where they go and they have the scandals with that they got in with women and stuff like that. And so that is one of the things that is important for somebody to remain at the top, or to be one of the greatest of all time. So what you guys think? Talk to us. Don't forget to comment below and tell us if you agree with me that Ronaldo the phenomenon could have been the greatest of all time, right? If it wasn't because of his injuries. Or
if you agree with me and you think Ansu Fati still hasn't reached his potential, or if he still has time to regain that form again. Again, there's a lot of talks about him being overrated, underrated, so please let us know down below in the comments if you guys agree with our statements. Also, please follow us on our social medias, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, we're all there as Visión Fútbol, so please follow us. And again, share this video if you liked it, leave a like, and also hit that bell notification so that you can always know when we upload.
We thank the ones that have subscribed already and that have been following us for all this time. Thank you for that support. But this is all in this episode. We'll see you in the next time. In Visión Fútbol, my name is Simrri.
My name is Hamex.
Bye.